Since we've laid the groundwork with the stand-up tuner rods, a lot of these videos are going to go a whole lot faster because a lot of the principles actually carry on from rod build to rod build. So once you learn how to spine a blank, that's standard across the board. Once you learn how to put a foregrip on, that's standard across the board. The unibutts, that type of thing. So this one's going to go a whole lot faster, and we're going to be able to get them into a lot shorter videos. Up next, I've got a Super Seeker Hercules jigging blank. It's a great action blank. This blank has actually been custom painted for a customer. Here's the standard rod that he has on his boat. It's commercial, or it's a charter fisherman out of Ocean City, Maryland. This is one of his 50 class rods. He likes the orange. So we're going to duplicate this rod, and we're going to do it in a jigging rod with this Super Seeker blank. It's really nice. It's got some customized features to it. We're going to have a 12-inch straight rear grip with a nice soft rubber gimbal, so it doesn't leave hickeys on the customer's legs when they have the hard gimbals. That's a soft gimbal there. And then what I really like about this one is a new foregrip that is out on the market that I have access to. It's actually a CNC cut EVA foregrip that has grooves in it, not finger grooves, but it actually has diamonds that go up and down the grip. So it's going to be good. So stay tuned, and we're going to get going. All right, what we're going to do is get started on this jigging rod. And the first thing we're going to do when we get the blank and getting prepared for actually building on the blank, first thing I'll do is actually put a piece of masking tape or low-tack tape onto the blank, and then I find the spine. And again, how you find the spine, I'll show you. I'll pull out a piece of board. Either have a hardwood floor, don't do it on a carpet per se, because that won't give you a very good and accurate reading of what's going on. But I put it on here so it spins freely. And I get that bend in the blank. And I told you before about how the blank will always dance to the spine and get to the lowest spot. And you can see that this blank is moving around. I'm not turning it, it's actually twisting on its own. And that is the spot where it rests. And I can maneuver this, and it'll come right back to that one spot every single time. So regardless of where it is, I can bring it back and it will snap right into that spot. That's your effective spine of the blank. So what I do is I take a China marker and actually make a mark on here and make that my spine. If it's a spinning rod, the guides will go on the bottom of the spine. If it's a casting rod or a bait casting or a jigging rod with a conventional reel, the guides will go on top. So that just gives you a little idea as far as alignment goes and how you do that. So what I do with my rods when I'm starting all these spinning rods, jigging rods, whatever, you start at the very bottom of the rod and you work your way all the way to the top, because a lot of the items are going to come down from the top of the rod. So this rod we're doing now, I said, has a 12-inch rear grip with a Black Alps reel seat, and then the diamond CNC cut foregrip. So we've got this on. We've got the, I just put 5-minute epoxy and filled this up, and then put it onto the rod and get it lined up correctly. I do check these periodically just to make sure things haven't moved and make sure everything is still right where we want it to be. And sure enough, it is. So what we're going to do next is the rear EVA grip installation. So be back to you in a couple minutes. Alright, so first off, we've gotten the gimbal put on the rod, and that's with 5-minute epoxy, so that's firmly entrenched on the rod now. First thing we're going to do is size up the EVA rear grip and see where that falls on the blank. So we fall to about right here. That's our normal fall. So what I'm going to do is visually mark up in this area, and what I'm going to do is, I've already mixed my rod bond and I have that all ready to go. So what I'm going to do is take a healthy dollop of it and liberally coat the blank. And you'll see that I'm putting it on every square inch, all the way down from the spot where the grip sits comfortably, the very top of that, all the way down the blank. And the reason for that is I want to make sure that I've got good adhesion of that, and good coating and good coverage of that epoxy all the way down the blank. I don't want to just push the epoxy down. I actually want to see it on the blank, and that way I know that I've got coverage when I'm going down with the EVA grip. So get a nice healthy coating of that, and alright, so that's good. So what I'm going to do now is put the EVA grip over the handle, get it down into the area where it sits comfortably, and I'm going to move it back and forth. What this does is it actually gets epoxy all throughout the inside of that foregrip or rear grip. And now I'm going to pull the trash can over, because what I do is I just do this in front of the trash can, and then the extra glue will fall right off and go down in. Now what I'm doing is I'm holding at the top portion of the grip, and the reason is I want to trap all of the epoxy down in there. So you can see I'm just pushing it down, getting it to where it goes all the way to the end, and bringing it up. So now I know I've got good coverage with epoxy all the way through. I'm not going to have a failure of any kind because of not having enough epoxy in there. And there will be waste. I always believe it's better to use more than not enough. There's nothing worse than doing this and getting to the point where the blank is gripping the rear grip, and it won't let you get it onto the rod. So I can't stress enough, it's better to have more than not enough. If you don't have enough and you've got to take that thing off, you've got two ways of taking that off. You're either going to have to cut it off, cut the rear grip off, or forcibly get that thing back off the blank. And then at that point you're under the gun, because time constraints with the epoxy and drying and all of that. So I think it's better just to take your time, have more than enough epoxy on there, and roll with it. So what I'm going to do now is just take some time. I've got my denatured alcohol here. I'm going to clean this blank up, and then we'll keep working our way up the blank. Next we have the real seat installation, and I'll go through that with you. And then we'll have the foregrip and the winding check, and then we'll let this sit overnight and get nice and hard. Then we'll start on all the guide wraps. This rod's going to be a spiral wrapped rod. So for all you guys out there who are new to the spiral wraps, you definitely want to stay tuned, because this is a great way to set up a rod and fish it, especially in the jigging scenario. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.